Welcome, family and friends. As Senior Vice President for Student Affairs and Public Safety and Chair of the Commencement Committee, it is my privilege, my joy, to announce the arrival of the graduating class of 2024.
Beneath thy trees, within thy halls, dear college, we give praise to thee, to pledge ourselves whatever befalls, to pledge unfailing loyalty. Our hearts are with thee, dear William and Mary, however far we stray. Time shall not dull the shining name, whose gleam-born songs were very new. And as years go by, dear William and Mary, thy fame will never cease. But each new year we rejoice to see thy children's praise to thee. We honor thee not for our gain, but to make known thy majesty, thy truth and courage that remain, however harsh the fates may be. As through troublous years, dear William and Mary, our country fought, so thou hast fought, and won and lived to hear thy children singing to thee now. O thou, our guardian and our guide, renew our courage every hour, and keep thy spirit by our side, to aid us with his watchful eye. Throughout all our lives, dear William and Mary, we pledge our loyalty. Dear college, now and evermore, thy children cry all hail to thee. Beneath thy trees, within thy halls, dear college, we give praise to thee, to pledge ourselves whatever befalls, to pledge unfailing loyalty. Our hearts are with thee, dear William and Mary, however far we stray. Our noble victory fought, so thou hast fought, and won and lived to hear thy children singing to thee now. O thou our guardian and our guide, renew our courage every hour, and keep thy spirit by our side. country fought, so thou hast fought, and won and lived to hear thy children singing to thee now. O thou our guardian and our guide, renew our courage every hour, and keep thy spirit by our side, to aid us with his watchful power. Throughout all our lives, dear William and Mary, we pledge our loyalty. Dear college, now and evermore, thy children's cry all hail to thee. Beneath thy trees, within thy halls, dear college, we give praise to thee, to pledge ourselves whatever befalls, to pledge unfailing loyalty. Our hearts are with thee, dear William and Mary, however far we stray. Our college, hear us now, thy children sing to thee today. Dear college, old in years and fame, and richly old in honors too, time shall not dull the shining name, whose gleam our songs will ever renew. And as years go by, dear William and Mary, thy fame will never cease. But each new year rejoice to see thy children's praise to thee increase. We honor thee not for our gain, but to make known thy majesty, thy truth and courage that remain, however harsh the fates may be. As through troublous years, dear William and Mary, our country fought, so thou hast fought, and won and lived to hear thy children singing to thee now. O thou our guardian and our guide, renew our courage every hour, and keep thy spirit by our side, to aid us with his watchful power. Throughout all our lives, dear William and Mary, we pledge our loyalty. Dear college, now and evermore, thy children's cry all hail to thee. Beneath thy trees, within thy halls, dear college, we give praise to thee, to pledge ourselves whatever befalls, to pledge unfailing loyalty. Our hearts are with thee, dear William and Mary, however far we stray. Thy noble college, hear us now, thy children sing to thee today. Dear college, old in years each new year rejoice to see thy children's praise to thee increase. We honor thee not for our gain, but to make known thy majesty, thy truth and courage that remain, however harsh the fates may be. As through childless years, dear William and Mary, our country fought, so thou hast fought, and won and lived to hear thy children singing to thee now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the faculty of William and Mary.
And keep thy spirit by our side, to aid us with its watchful power. Throughout all our lives, dear William and Mary, we pledge our loyalty. Dear college, now and evermore, thy children cry all hail to thee. Beneath thy trees, within thy halls, dear college, we give praise to thee, to pledge ourselves whatever befalls, to pledge unfailing loyalty. Our hearts are with thee, dear William and Mary, however far we stray. Our noble college, hear us now, thy children sing to thee today. Dear college, oh, with years and fame, and richly holding honors too.
Please join me in welcoming the official party, led by our Chancellor, the Honorable Robert M. Gates.
Country fought, so thou hast fought, and won and lived to hear thy children singing to thee now. O thou our guardian and our guide, renew our courage every hour, and keep thy spirit by our side, to aid us with its watchful power. Throughout all our lives, dear William and Mary, we pledge our loyalty. Dear college, now and evermore, thy children cry all hail to thee.
Please rise as you are able for the national anthem of the United States of America.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light
Thank you, choir. Good evening, William and Mary, and welcome. Please be seated. Class of 2024. Are you ready to rock and roll? You have persevered through some serious headwinds to get here tonight. We are here to celebrate that every step of the way this evening. That's what we're here for, and we are immensely proud of you. I'd like to ask the rest of the stadium here to give us a sense of just how proud we are of the class of 2024. Woo! Families and friends, this celebration tonight is for you too. Absolutely. We will never, ever take it for granted what it meant to have you backing these graduates every step of the way, what it means to have you here together with us to celebrate them. Thank you for supporting your loved ones through this hard work. We begin this ceremony, as is traditional, with a reading of the university's land acknowledgement. Mike Matthew Solomon, co-president of the American Indian Student Association and a class of 2024 graduate, will read the land acknowledgement.
William and Mary acknowledges the indigenous peoples who are the original inhabitants of the lands our campus is on today. The Cherenhaka Nottoway, Chickahominy, Eastern Chickahominy, Mattaponi, Monacan, Nansmond, Nottoway, Pamunkey, Patawomic, Upper Mattaponi, and Rappahannock tribes, and pay our respects to tribal members, past and present. Thank you. Congrats to my fellow classmates of 2024! Woo!
Thank you, Matthew. 4 years of that. It's a tough act to follow. Congratulations on graduating. Joining us to bear witness to our graduates' accomplishments are members of William and Mary's Board of Visitors, led by Rector Charles Poston. Please stand. Virginia's Secretary of Health and Human Resources and former William and Mary Rector John Littell retires from the board after nearly 12 years of service, which is a record in living memory. Secretary Littell, please stand once again. Also with us are William and Mary's 27th President, Taylor Reevely, and his wife, Helen. Please wave. Stand up and wave big. Thank you. Faculty and staff, please stand so we can tell you how awesome you are. Thank you. Yesterday, the United States Army commissioned 14 William & Mary graduates. Among the class of 2024 are 112 active duty, reserve, and retired military and veterans. Would all military personnel and veterans, including anyone in this stadium currently serving or who has served, please stand and let us thank you for your service. Each year, the senior class selects honorary marshals. Our graduates have recognized Professor Alicia Andrzejewski and Professor Mark Denning, and Associate Vice President for Health and Wellness, Kelly Crace. Honorary marshals, please stand. Thank you. The status of honorary alumnus is awarded to individuals who did not attend the university, but whom we proudly claim as our own. This year, we honor General James Golden and Chet Thacker. General Golden, a proud class of 2024 granddad, joins us this evening. Please wave. 2 generations in one night. The Alumni Association awarded posthumous honorary alumnus status to Bernard Bowman, who cared for the Wren Building for 30 years. His family is with us. Would you please wave? Let us thank you. Students every year select one faculty member as the class professor. The class of 2024 professor is Christine Nemechek. Professor Nemechek, please stand. William & Mary's partnership with the city of Williamsburg is so strong, and that partnership is one of the reasons why we have had such success, and you have had such success over the last 4 years. We are joined by the mayor, 3 members of the city council, and the city manager. Would you also please stand and wave? Thank you. It's incredible to be here with all of you in our house with over 2,800 graduates, 12,000 friends and family. 4 years ago, we were grieving lost traditions, high school graduations that were missed. We were striving to imagine this moment. The successes that brought all of you here to this stadium tonight have been very hard won. Through grit and resilience, especially through support of each other, you found a way, so many ways to be here. At Convocation in 2021, a very wise poet and judge called on us to be magnificent builders at a time when we needed to hear that. That call to build and adapt has been the hallmark of your time at William & Mary. You prioritized being in person. You found friendships in the heart of pandemic. You were the class who said, "Keep it together, folks, because I do not want to be in college at home." Remember that? When William & Mary invited you to come study here together, you took a risk to do so, and all of us have learned enormously from that. We've learned how precious and how powerful that invitation is. 4 words that a university offers to its students. Come study here together. Come study is a radical invitation, and we should never forget that. There are so many people in history, so many people in the world now who do not have that invitation. Here, this country's alma mater, where for 3 centuries people have come wanting to understand and change the world for better. Together. At William & Mary, we prize learning in company with others. We work incredibly hard to safeguard our community and the essential mission of teaching, learning, and research, because we deeply believe that the positive changes that we cultivate when we make new knowledge together are changes that will last. They're durable, and they will scale with every person who joins in. Come study here together. Each of these simple words is an action that brought us to this moment and that allowed us to find a way. That is the most powerful ability that a human being can have, and all of you in the class of 2024 have that ability. You don't yet know everything that you can do with it, but it is going to be extraordinary. You are the people who found a way, and you will always be, wherever you go, the people who find a way. That is what we are celebrating when we celebrate your achievements today. That is what we're honoring with so much pride. Now, it's my great pleasure to introduce William & Mary's 24th Chancellor, the Honorable Robert M. Gates, class of 1965. Chancellor Gates is a patriot. He puts duty before ego. He puts country before partisanship. He served under 8 U.S. presidents, and he's the only Secretary of Defense to have served under presidents of opposing political parties. Chancellor Gates, please bring us your wisdom.
Thank you, Catherine. To the class of 2024, congratulations. The last exam has been taken, final papers submitted, the registrar has double-checked, and yes, you have made it through one of the most rigorous educations in the world. To the parents and families of the class of 2024, congratulations to you as well. You have much of which to be proud, and you have much to celebrate. However, for you parents joyfully contemplating newly available disposable income, I'm sorry to inform you the National Bank of Mom and Dad never closes. To Judge John Charles Thomas, congratulations on your well-deserved honor. Director Poston and to the board, thanks for your leadership and particularly for your partnership with William & Mary's 28th President, Dr. Catherine Rowe. And to President Rowe, you continue to lead our university with grace and wisdom through ever more tumultuous times at home and abroad. We are most fortunate to have you at the helm. For 331 years, William & Mary has prepared its graduates to engage in the open exchange of ideas and to seek wisdom in bridging differences. That engagement is the core element of a William & Mary education. Today, these qualities are all too rare. We are in a period in our country's history marked by too much shouting and too little listening, too much ego and self-certainty, and too little humility and open-mindedness. To overcome the challenges our nation and the world face requires a willingness to listen and to learn. As graduates of this university, you have a responsibility to defend our democracy and to keep perfecting and reshaping it. Noting the extraordinary manner in which the class of 2024 has coped with incredible obstacles already, I have no doubt you are up to this challenge. The legacy of service, of making a difference for our country and our fellow citizens, is the oldest and greatest tradition of this ancient institution, this alma mater of the nation. That shared legacy is what makes this home so special for all of us, so worth cherishing for a lifetime. As you graduate today, know that you too are both challenged and also destined to make a difference. Congratulations and Godspeed.
Thank you, Chancellor Gates. It's now my privilege to welcome to the podium William & Mary's Rector, Charles E. Poston.
President Rowe, Chancellor Gates, members of the class of 2024. I hope each of you will fully celebrate the hard work, dedication, and achievement that have brought you to this moment. The effort and perseverance required to reach this point are neither for the faint of heart nor for the weak of spirit. And I hope you will express your gratitude to your parents, significant others, families, and friends who have supported you through this journey. At this point in the ceremony, we confer honorary degrees, a tradition that dates to 1756, when the first honorary degree from William & Mary was given to Benjamin Franklin. This year, we confer an honorary degree to Justice John Charles Thomas. After an introductory video, Chancellor Gates and I will confer the honorary degree, and we will then hear remarks from Justice Thomas.
John Charles Thomas is a rare and splendid human being of great, really protean ability and accomplishment. He's someone who refused to let childhood poverty and the ravages of segregation define him. He rose above all that. He's also a person really abiding cheerfulness and optimism.
Judge Thomas rose through adversity, had opportunities to attend University of Virginia, and then quickly rose through the ranks as one of the leading legal minds of his generation.
I was born in 1950, raised in the era of civil rights movement and the March on Washington and Dr. King. And our teachers in the segregated schools that I attended until I went to high school told us that we had no choice but to make a difference in life. And along those lines, people would tell me the best thing to be is a lawyer.
He was the first black associate in a major Southern law firm who rise through the ranks at the firm and become a partner. And then he was the first black justice on the Virginia Supreme Court and the youngest person ever to serve on that court.
I didn't immediately say, oh, sure, I want to be the justice. And so I get a call late one night from the Lieutenant Governor of Virginia, a man named Dick Davis. He says, make up your mind. I say, what? He says, the governor of Virginia is ready to put you on the Supreme Court, and if you don't take this appointment, there is not going to be a black person on this court this millennium, so make up your mind. So we hung up the phone. I talked to my wife about what all this meant. I thought about the long history of Virginia and change that I was told I had to be a part of. And I guess it was the next day I called the Lieutenant Governor back and I said, okay, let's do it.
We met in 2010 at a dinner party, and I said, hi, I'm Sophia, I'm a composer. Who are you? Well, I'm a poet. I am also a judge, but I'm a poet first.
When he was very young, his grandfather got him to memorize long, complex poems. From the time John was just a child, he was standing up and reciting poetry, and he obviously enjoyed doing it, in addition to being just unbelievably good at it.
Judge Thomas's poems are evocative. They're almost like an impressionistic painting coming to life, where at the same time they really pull the heartstrings of the soul. When we were in Carnegie Hall, he closed the program with the first poem he wrote as, you know, the only African-American student in that high school in Norfolk, where a teacher could not believe that an African-American boy could write that beautiful poem.
She walks to my desk that's on the front row. She holds the paper by the corner, throws it at me, and says in front of the class, I reject this. I do not believe a colored child could write this. And that poem was the poem I started with at Carnegie and the poem I ended with. And I stand there and I said, come back with me in time to a young kid at a school in Norfolk doing the best he could to try to make change, to try to, integrate our society. And remember that when somebody expresses hope or expresses some desire or what they want to be, don't crush their hope. And I started reciting this poem, which is called The Morning. I said, the morning is the time for man to rise, review the things that formed his past, make all his disappointments and mistakes quite clear, so they will be his last. The morning is the time for man to think of all the things to come, to plot, to plan, to try his best. to be ahead when day is done. The morning is a time for man to dream of things not yet conceived, to gather his thoughts and ideas round the things that he alone believes. The morning is a time for man to rise and think and dream and see that all the world depends on men who with thoughts of hope the day begin.
John has had an amazing and highly productive, extraordinarily significant life. He is deeply committed to William and Mary also. Service for 12 years on the board carried with it real impact. But it's definitely an earned honorary degree. He's a real example of what you can do with a life well lived.
John Charles Thomas, 3 years ago at convocation, you invoked Henry Wadsworth Longfellow in your call to the class of 2024. You called them to be magnificent builders. You have been a strong and sure builder all your life as an attorney, justice, and poet. Early in your career, you made national headlines as the first black attorney of a formerly all-white law firm in the United States South, to rise from associate lawyer in that firm to a partner. At 32, you joined the bench of the Commonwealth's highest court as its first black justice and its youngest member ever. You have been a dear friend to the university. You welcomed the alma mater of the nation into its 4th century as a member of the Tercentenary Commission. In 2006, you were appointed to the Board of Visitors and served over 11 years. One of the longest serving board members in the history of the university. You've engaged meaningfully with our community, including addressing students at 2 convocations. In 2013, you collaborated with faculty for a poetry recital of original work at Carnegie Hall. In 2018, the William and Mary Alumni Association made you an honorary alumnus of the university. John Charles Thomas, you are among the architects of fate. Longfellow imagined people like you in the future, and William and Mary proudly honors you.
By virtue of the power vested in me by the Board of Visitors and the ancient royal charter of the College of William and Mary in Virginia, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, my friend, Justice John Charles Thomas, will speak.
Oh my goodness. To the class of 2024, to the rector and the Board of Visitors of the College of William and Mary in Virginia, to our chancellor, to our president, to the friends and families of this class that has distinguished itself so powerfully over these last 4 years. I'm proud to be a part of this. I saw this resilient and adaptive class 4 years ago on the early days of their coming to the College of William and Mary in Virginia, and I talked to them at that time about being builders for the rest of their lives. I want to talk more about that today, but I want to talk about the nature of this place where they have been in school this time and what they have been learning just by being in this powerful place. Many of you have heard that the College of William and Mary is called the alma mater of the nation. It is the only school of higher education in our country that has a royal charter. The King and Queen of England, William and Mary, in the 1600s, said that they wanted to have a perpetual college of the liberal arts and other good sciences here for all time coming on the banks of the York River in Virginia. And so they set up this college, and I have often thought, what must King George III have thought? What must he have thought when he saw that there was discord and turmoil and anger in the American colonies? He had to have sat there and said, I know one thing, I might not be able to count on North Carolina, I might not be able to count on Massachusetts, but I bet you I can count on Virginia, because we done put a royal college there. But an odd thing happened. The Royal College became the very seat of the intellectual discussions that led to the American Revolution, which is why we're the alma mater of the nation. The transformation that occurred at the college is the thing that I want you to understand fully that you are a part of. But look what they did. They set up a college, a perpetual college of learning of the liberal arts. Now, some of y'all have heard me talk about the liberal arts before, and one of the things I've described to you is that the liberal arts have nothing to do with liberal and conservative in the political sphere. The liberal arts basically are the skills of freedom. They are the ars liberalis. And so the King and Queen of England set up a school in Virginia to teach the students here about the skills of freedom. And I want to tell you that if you follow the mission of learning of the skills of freedom, learning to think well and write well and speak well, which all of you have done, you will find that freedom is the opposite of authoritarianism. And so if you really learn about being free, you decide, I'd rather not have a king and queen. And so that message that comes from the very bricks and mortars is what you've been learning while you were here. And so I depend on this class, not just the undergraduates, but the graduates who have studied here too, that when you leave this place and go out into the world, that you will understand that with the skills of freedom, you are meant to be builders of the best that America can be. Now, when we look back in time, we can see that the founding generation got some things right. They were very intentional when they were writing the Declaration of Independence and the Virginia Statute of Religious Freedom. If you read about them, and some of y'all history majors, I know you've done this, they looked at the governments in the world history that had failed, and they paid attention to why those governments had failed. And so they decided that one of the things you had to do to have a long-standing government was to share power. And that's how we came up with the division of powers that we created in this new nation. They were smart. They got some things right, but they didn't get everything right. They said things like all men are created equal, and then you know from the Hamilton play that one of the Schuyler sisters said, no, when I see this Jefferson, I'm going to get him to include women too. They got some things right, but they had no idea that a woman could be the president of the College of William and Mary in Virginia. They got many things right, but they had no idea that a person of color could be the president of the United States of America. They got a whole lot of things right, but they never thought that a member of the native tribes of America could be in the cabinet of a president of the United States and run a powerful office of government. They didn't get it all right. And so what I want to say to you is that when you deal with history, what I want you to do is not be overawed by it. Don't be hamstrung by it. Don't be worshipful of history. Look at it, learn from it, take the best that they had, and build the better world that we are called upon to do. And that's what I'm going to depend on you to do. Now, another thing that you were taught while you were here, some of the lessons that we get, they come easy. Some of them float on the wind like they are songs. And one of the things that all of y'all have heard, undergraduate or not, you heard the alma mater, because almost everywhere we go, we sing the alma mater at the College of William and Mary in Virginia. And there's a line in the alma mater that says, "Hark upon the gale." And many people think it's just a pretty line to build out a rhyme scheme and a beautiful alma mater that is so lovely to hear. But I want to tell you that every time you heard "Hark upon the gale," they were telling you something. The ancients were telling you something that you better learn and pay attention to. Because a gale is a storm at sea that has winds greater than 60 miles an hour. If you ever found yourself in a gale, you would be terrified. If you were in a gale, you would be running. If you were in a gale, you would batten down the hatches, you would furl the sails, you would seek a quiet cove to stow into. You would be running for your life if you were in a gale. But what did the writer of the alma mater say? He says, "Hark upon the gale." Hark means pay attention. Hark means heed what's going on. Now, in my time, I used to watch the America's Cup sailing races, and I learned that the captains of the sailing vessels, when they were trying to get a little more speed than their competitors, would stand on the deck. And they would put their finger in the wind to see which way the wind is blowing. And they would look at the current that was running up beside the ship to see which way that was going. And they would look at the sails to see which way they were flapping. And they figured that if they paid attention to all the elements and forces that were acting upon their boat, they might be able to find out a way that gave them just a little more speed. And what I'm saying to you here at the College of William and Mary in Virginia is that if you hark upon the gale, if you pay attention while everybody is running, when everybody is screaming and yelling, when everybody is at each other's throat, if you pay attention, if you hark upon the gale, you might be the one to see the course that will set the nation straight. You might be the one that would see the lesson that will tell our children how to be the best they can be in school. You might be the one to change everything about how we live in America if you just pay attention to the things that are going on around you. And so William and Mary, is a story of transformation. William and Mary is a story of possibilities. William and Mary is a place where you can come and change yourself and change your worldview and get ready and go out and change the world itself. So if you can embody all the things you've learned here, if you can embody the talks and discussions you had among your classmates, if you can bring to heart all the things that you've seen, the books that you've read, the trips that you've been on, the labs that you've been in, if you can make that part of you, and if you can keep it inside your soul, if you can keep your head while all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and miss it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your tongue long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will that says to them, hold on. If you can walk with crowds and keep your virtue, or talk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, then yours is the world and everything that's within it, and the promise of William and Mary will not be undone. Hark upon the gale.
Let's hear a gale. Wow. Thank you, Dr. Thomas. It's fitting now, after that powerful exhortation to excellence, that we present prizes for excellence and for service, and for the way that those two qualities, those two values of this institution intertwine every day here. Provost Peggy Aguras, please join me at the podium to present the awards. And awardees, when I call your name, please come forward. The Lord Botetourt Medal, established in 1772 to honor the graduating senior with the greatest distinction in scholarship, goes to Robert K. Gordy. That's chemistry right there. Mr. Gordy joined Professor Young's chemistry lab before his first semester. Since then, he's published in leading journals. He earned the prestigious Barry Goldwater Scholarship as well as William Mary's 1693 Scholarship. And after graduation, he'll be pursuing a PhD at the University of California, Berkeley. That's okay. That's okay. That's not a problem. Berkeley's okay. Professor Young has shared that he has 100% confidence that Dr. Gordy is a name that will be well known in the scientific community for years to come. Congratulations, Robbie. The James Frederick Carr Memorial Cup goes to the graduate who best combines the qualities of character, scholarship, and leadership. The Carr Cup is awarded to Kelsey McAllister. Ms. McAllister graduates government and sociology, right over there. Ms. McAllister graduates Phi Beta Kappa with majors in government and sociology and a near-perfect GPA. Her nominators write that she pours her heart and soul into advocating against wrongful convictions. Ms. McAllister helped register the William and Mary Innocence Club and most recently served as its president. She was the only undergraduate fellow at the law school's Center for Criminal Justice Policy and Reform, and she will continue her studies at Wake Forest School of Law next year on a merit scholarship. Congratulations, Kelsey. Named for William and Mary's 21st Chancellor, Margaret the Lady Thatcher,
The Graduate and Professional School Prize honors outstanding scholarship, service, and character. This year's recipient is Holly Gruntner. Dr. Gruntner's research explores early American kitchen gardens and the gardener scientists who cultivated them. One nominator quips that her research is groundbreaking, literally. Dr. Gruntner served as president of the Graduate Student Association, and she goes above and beyond for our graduate community. Congratulations, Holly. In memory of Algernon Sidney Sullivan, the New York Southern Society recognizes 2 graduating students for heart, mind, and helpfulness to others. The 2024 student recipients are Daniel Bess and Catherine Cable. Mr. Bess graduates with a major in finance and has accepted a job at Morgan Stanley. He's mentored middle schoolers, registered voters, tended community gardens, and volunteered with the historic First Baptist Church and Let Freedom Ring Foundation. He served on the Student Assembly's Finance and Budget Committees, and as a president's aide, the breadth of the communities that he drew in together made him an incredibly great advocate for students, and he's a lot of fun to work with. Ms. Cable graduates with a major in international relations and a minor in data science. Her ambitious research agenda focuses on global justice. She supervised a team of undergraduates researching how war has impacted Ukrainian coal mines. Their article was published in the US intelligence community and gained over 300,000 views. Daniel and Catherine, congratulations. A third Sullivan Award recognizes a person with close ties to the university. This year's award is given to Sue Hannah Gertelman, class of 1976. Ms. Gertelman is a cherished member of our community. For many years, she worked in public service in Washington, D.C., and then returned to Williamsburg with her beloved late husband, John, class of 1975. She chaired the William and Mary Foundation Board. She served 2 terms on the Board of Visitors, including as board secretary. In 2011, she received the Alumni Medallion, the most prestigious award given to alumni. Year after year, she has championed our university, including chairing both For the Bold and the All In campaigns. This award is so well deserved. Congratulations, Sue. Honoring William & Mary's 23rd president, Thomas A. Graves, Jr., the Graves Award recognizes sustained excellence in teaching. Our 2024 recipients are Nancy Combs and Deborah Steinberg. An expert in international criminal and human rights law, Professor Combs is an honored and outstanding teacher. Nominators applaud her command of her subject and its relevance to the world today. Her students praise her as a tireless mentor. She advises the international competition team and taps her vast network to help students find jobs. For 23 years, Professor Steinberg has inspired William and Mary students. Her enormously popular classes include samples collected from the global ocean. Her students join her research in cruises on the York River and in Antarctica. One student noted, "One of the most valuable lessons that Debbie taught me is to hold on to the joy in our work." Congratulations, Debbie and Nancy. The Charles and Virginia Duke Award honors the leadership of William and Mary's staff. This year's Duke Award was presented to Dot Osborne and Daryl Payne. Please wave to us up there. The Values in Action Award goes to faculty and staff who exemplify William and Mary's values. This year we honored Charlie Foster, Michael Gaines, Debbie Raymer, and Amy Teller. Would you please wave? Now, graduates who are elected to National Honor Societies, please rise as you are able and stay standing when I call your society's name. Phi Beta Kappa, Mortarboard, Omicron Delta Kappa, Beta Gamma Sigma, and Order of the Coif. Thank you. William and Mary prepares teachers to serve our Commonwealth and nation. Graduates who have received teaching certifications, would you please rise as you're able? Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Our commencement student speaker is Corinthia Randolph. Ms. Randolph graduates with a Master of Education in Clinical Mental Health and will pursue her doctoral degree this fall. Please join me in welcoming her to the podium.
Good evening. To my fellow distinguished graduates of William and Mary, class of 2024, family, faculty, and friends, my name is Corinthia Randolph. I believe it is always important to understand the journey of how one arrives at a place in time, so they may have the ability to accurately embrace and apply the lifelong lessons that they have been given on that journey. And tonight, it is this journey that I would like to reflect on with you all. So with a dash of honor and a heap of humility, I stand before you to present How Did We Get Here? It is here, in this hour, that victory has crowned her victors. She has called each of us from this sacred battlefield of education to now go out into the world and to be that voice if we must. She has called us to champion for a better day, so society may be the greater for knowing us. For we have defeated the calloused hands of doubt, the tireless pangs of angst that have reached out to us all in one way or another. While looking out into a world we have been called to help shape and shift. Still, our very foundations, though shaken, remain intact. We have been prepared to stand in the face of adversities, bandwagons, and hypocrisies, and failed policies. When you look around, is there any doubt as to why we bend, but we do not break? Why we tussle, yet we remain? Dare I say no one gets to the top of the mountain alone. Behold, your tribesmen, now added to the great collective of this prestigious institute. On this day, we are now bonded by the journey and sealed by ceremony. We stand upon the shoulders of those who have gone before us, and we gladly kneel for those who will come after us. The saying goes, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Well, here we are at the end of that tunnel, walking out into the world, officially leaving this home of our beloved William and Mary. So yes, the tunnel has come to an end, and the light is shining brightly. We have gone through the tests, the trials, and the tribulations, and we have overcome them. We have persevered even when nature herself seemed to turn her back against us, and the world stood still. We held on to one another, no matter what was thrown our way, while keeping our eyes still on the prize. It is with the same zeal that I charge each of you this day to rise as one tribe, united in the pursuit of everything that is sacred, righteous, and true. for our joint efforts will be felt and witnessed by many for centuries to come. With that very light in mind, it would be remiss of me not to give honor to those who have carved a way for me and others to be here, those who have sacrificed and lost much, those who were hungry for a solid and respectful education and fought to be fed. They have helped to make my way easier, a way that I do not take lightly. Yes, it is here, in this hour, that victory has crowned her victors. She has, with great intentionality, forged bonds and built bridges laid by our educational constructs, where hopefully one day our future generations may also take the way, that they shall take this same walk through the same tunnel, seeing the same light. As I said before, no one gets to the top of the mountain alone. And this is how we got here. Congratulations, class of 2024.
Bonded by adversity and sealed by ceremony. Congratulations and thank you, Ms. Randolph, for such powerful words. Now, William & Mary has an international reach, and as we move into the conferral of earned degrees, I want to let everyone know that today we graduate the 10th class from our joint degree program with St. Andrews University in Scotland. We are delighted to have Vice Principal Brad Mackay and faculty Lisa Jones and Brona Masterson with us. Professor Harmony Dalglish directs the William & Mary side of the program. Doctors Mackay, Jones, Masterson, and Dalglish, please stand. Thank you. Next month, graduates will receive the St. Andrews portion of their degree as full alumni of both universities. Graduates of the joint degree program, please rise as you're able. Thank you. Would all international students, those whose studies worked or served abroad during their time at this university, please rise as you're able? Everyone. Yes. Thank you. And now, Provost Aguirre, please join me at the podium for the conferral of earned degrees for the class of 2024.
Thank you, President Rowe. We will begin the conferral of doctoral degrees. Suzanne Raitt, Dean of the Faculty of Arts and Sciences, will present the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Arts and Sciences. Robert Knopel, Dean of the School of Education, will present the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Education and Doctor of Education. Derek Aday, Dean of the School of Marine Science, will present the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Marine Science.
Good evening. There are 26 doctoral degrees being awarded in arts and sciences. Candidates, please come forward when your name is called. Young Soong. Holly Lynn Gruntner. Alexandra MacDonald. Anne Catherine Powell. Marie Arabelle Pellissier. Carlos Aparecido da Silva, Jr. Tao Jiang. Minglong Sun. Kaushal Kafle. Derek Vori Richard. Adrienne Marie Risha. Sarah Catherine Woodbury. Erna Anderson. Molly Patricia Shiloh. Peter Antolin Giscombe. And absent but receiving degrees this year are Shauna Lynn Haynes, Kenneth Howard Coulterman, and Heather Maria Switzer. Let's give them a round of applause.
There are 36 candidates for doctoral degrees in education. Candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Education and Doctor of Education, please come forward as your name is called. Byron Wayne Lewis. Jessica Grant Divenuti Witten. Bingjing Liu. Lindsay Elise Blunt. Ashley Jones Farrington. Kristen Eileen East. Matthew Wade Henry. Jason Willard King. Juliana Irene Owen Thompson. Alicia K. Schroeder Shuck. Anisha Mishra. Jeremy Wayne Riggs. Jessica Marie Scott. Sarah McGuire Nuss. Charisse M. Adkins. Melissa Lynn Allen. Joseph White Wheelis IV. Patricia Adams Frederick Rudolph. Terrence A. Fasanella. Heather Michelle Kennedy. Emily Drake Smucker. Shanae Vivetta Owens. Taylor Victoria Locks. Alana Ray Davis. Carrie Zabrowski Cooper. Students who are not joining us: Susan Bishop, Nikki Marie Carroll, Jacqueline D. Dry, Allison Tate Fears, Carla Marie Gibson, Rosanna A. Koppelman, Paula Gabriela Mendizabal, Asia Renee Randolph, Tiffany Irene Truitt, Morgan Marie Walker, and Chantel Monique White Zenon.
There are 10 doctoral degrees being awarded in marine science, and 3 of them are here with us tonight. Please come forward as your name is called. Derek John Detweiler. Alexandra Kenyon Schneider. Caitlin A. O'Brien.
Candidates for the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Education, please rise as you are able. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Visitors of the College of William and Mary in Virginia, I confer upon each of you as appropriate the degree of Doctor of Philosophy or Doctor of Education, and welcome you into the ancient and universal company of scholars. Congratulations. Please be seated.
Benjamin Spencer, Dean of the Law School, will present the candidates for the degrees of Master of Laws and Juris Doctor.
There are 171 candidates for the degree of Juris Doctor and 11 candidates for the degree of Master of Laws. Candidates, please rise as you are able.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon each of you as appropriate the degree of Master of Laws or Juris Doctor, and declare that you are well prepared to protect and advance the rule of law in this and other countries. Congratulations. Please be seated.
Todd Moradian, Dean of the Mason School of Business, will present the candidates for the master's degrees in business.
There are 30 candidates for the degree of Master of Accounting, 307 for the degree of Master of Business Administration, and 172 for the degree of Master of Science. Candidates, please rise as you are able.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon each of you as appropriate the degree of Master of Accounting, Master of Business Administration, or Master of Science, and declare that you are well prepared to ensure prosperity in your organizations and communities. Congratulations. Please be seated.
Dean Reid will present the candidates for the master's degrees in arts and sciences.
There are 57 candidates for the degree of Master of Science, 25 for Master of Arts, and 6 for Master of Public Policy. Candidates, please rise as you are able.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon each of you as appropriate the degree of Master of Science, Master of Arts, or Master of Public Policy, and declare that you have successfully completed advanced study in your disciplines and are prepared to lead them forward. Congratulations.
Dean Knopel will present the candidates for the Educational Specialist degree and the Master's degrees in Education.
There are 16 candidates for the Educational Specialist degree, 48 for Master of Arts in Education, and 156 for Master of Education. Candidates, please rise as you are able.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon each of you as appropriate the degree of Educational Specialist, Master of Arts in Education, or Master of Education, and declare you well prepared to nurture the schools of our Commonwealth and nation. Congratulations. Please be seated.
Dean Ade will present the candidates for the master's degrees in marine science.
There are 5 candidates for the degree of Master of Science and 5 for the degree of Master of Arts. Candidates, please rise as you are able.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon each of you as appropriate the degree of Master of Science or Master of Arts, and declare that you have successfully completed advanced study in marine science and are well prepared to ensure the vitality of the world's oceans and waterways. Congratulations.
There are 1,733 candidates for the baccalaureate degrees. The deans will present the candidates by field of interest or concentration. Dean Moradian will present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration. Dean Raitt will present candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Arts International Honors, and Bachelor of Science. Dean Knopel will present candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Education.
There are 201 candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration. Candidates, when I introduce your major, please rise as you are able and then be seated. Accounting. Business Analytics. Finance. Marketing.
There are 773 candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Arts International Honors, and 750 candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science. Candidates, when I introduce your major, please rise as you are able and then be seated. Africana Studies. American Studies. Anthropology. Art and Art History. Biology. Chemistry. Chinese language and culture. Classical studies, including archaeology, Greek, Latin, and classical civilization. Computational and applied mathematics and statistics. Computer science. Data science. Economics. English. Environment and sustainability. Film and media studies. French and Francophone studies. Gender, sexuality, and women's studies. Geology. German Studies. Global Studies, including Asian and Middle Eastern Studies, Asian and Pacific Islander American Studies, European Studies, Latin American Studies, and Russian and post-Soviet Studies. Government. Hispanic Studies. History. Integrative conservation. International relations. Japanese studies. Kinesiology and health sciences. Linguistics. Mathematics. Music. Neuroscience. Philosophy. Physics. Psychology. Public policy. Religious studies. Self-designed. Sociology. Theater.
There are 9 candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Education with a major in elementary education. Candidates, please rise as you are able.
And now would all the candidates for bachelor's degrees please rise as you are able. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Visitors of the College of William and Mary in Virginia, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Arts International Honors, Bachelor of Arts in Education, or Bachelor of Science. I welcome you into the community of graduates and professionals well prepared to think critically, solve problems collaboratively, and lead positive change in our communities, our states, and our nations. Congratulations! All right, please be seated. Please join me in welcoming Matt Brandon, Class of '92 alumnus and Chief Executive Officer of the William & Mary Alumni Association.
Thank you, President Rowe. Congratulations, Class of 2024. On behalf of the William & Mary Alumni Association, I'm delighted to welcome you all as our newest members. You join 110,000 alumni all over the world. Embrace this opportunity to be an active participant. Join your local network or connect with an affinity group. Return to campus often for homecoming and reunion weekend and just to check on your alma mater. Be involved in the Young Guard. It is designed specifically to serve graduates of the last 10 years. We look forward to seeing you at the Alumni House right behind you. Above all, wear your green and gold proudly. Use your William & Mary contacts for friendship, fellowship, and networking. We are your career partners for life, from your first job through your last career move. And now, graduates, please stand and join me as we recite the Alumni Pledge. There's a card on your seat with an alumni pin. After we recite the pledge, place the pin on your hood. And are you ready? We'll do it together. Here we go. I'll read a line and you'll respond with the same line repeated. As a graduate of William & Mary, and as a new member of the William & Mary Alumni Association, I pledge to uphold the university's values of belonging, curiosity, excellence, flourishing, integrity, respect, and service. With pride, I will support and cherish the ideals of William & Mary. Encouraging others to do so as well, no matter how far from Williamsburg it takes me. Class of 2024, welcome to your Alumni Association and congratulations.
All right, we have just a few final thanks, announcements, and ceremonial rites left. First, please join me in thanking everyone who makes this ceremony possible and so awesome. Everyone, staff, all around this place, families. All right, here's the bad news. Rain is forecasted for tomorrow. So check the William & Mary app for the latest updates on your department ceremony locations, right? Just a few moments now, we're going to sing the alma mater together, and when the song begins, the symbolic chain of office, class office, will pass from Mia Tillman, president of the class of 24, to Matthew Huang, president of the class of 25. On the last verse, the William & Mary Maces will pass from the outgoing to the newly elected leaders of the undergraduate and graduate student bodies. Please rise as you are able to join the choir in singing our alma mater.
Hark the students' voices swelling, strong and true and clear. Alma mater's love they're telling, ringing far and near. William and Mary, loved of old, hark upon the gale. Hear the thunder of our chorus, alma mater hail.
All right. In a moment, the platform party and faculty will recess out. Audience, please remain in your seats until the recessional has concluded. There's just one more ceremonial gesture left. I'll just need to check the wind. As president, I declare that William & Mary's 331st academic year has concluded.
Thy fame will never cease, but each new year rejoice to see thy children's praise to thee increase. We honor thee not for our gain, but to make known thy majesty. Time, truth, and courage that remain, however harsh the fates may be. And through troublous years, dear William and Mary, our country fought, so thou hast fought, and won and lived to